Hey everybody, welcome back to another Jackson Jet Setting Resort review. Today we're checking out the Westin Cancun Resort and Spa. It's a timeshare resort located right in the middle of the Cancun hotel zone. I stayed here as a Marriott Titanium on a cash stay for about $160 a night. So let's check out how my stay went and what the property looks like. Just a reminder, if you like these types of videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm posting resort tours all around the world, so if you like those, please subscribe. So this is the main check-in area as well as the timeshare sales facility at the Westin Cancun. This is where you arrive to check in. There are two main buildings at the Westin Cancun. They're easily accessible by a walking path, or you can call a golf cart and one of the valets will take you up to the main building. I did love the look of this Westin. It seemed like everything was pretty new in a lot of the public spaces. And then right outside of that main building, there are some stairs that go up to the gym as well as the spa. So this property is definitely a little bit older in terms of the bones of the property. I think it's probably one of the older resorts in the resort district, but I think that they've done a great job keeping up the place and making things feel nice and modern despite sort of the old exterior of the Westin Cancun. I was definitely curious how the stay would feel given that it's actually a timeshare resort rather than a full resort. So Titanium and Platinum members from Marriott don't normally get a lot of their benefits at these types of resorts, especially stateside. I'm pleased to report that the Westin Cancun gave me free breakfast as well as a late checkout of noon, which normally that's 10 a.m. at timeshare resorts. So that was really great. Lots of resort style amenities, of course. You saw the tennis court back there as well as the gym. So a decent sized gym with views, but if you're looking for a massive property gym, this may not be for you. But I did love that they had a TRX band station. So lots of new equipment there. Then here's the main breakfast area. This is where your buffet breakfast in the morning is served. Everything was served by an employee of the Westin. I felt like they could have had a few more employees here. That's one area that I would say they could improve. But in terms of the quality of the food, I felt like it was really good. There's lots of Mexican options as well as American breakfast. So plenty to choose from there. And if you have that included as a Platinum or a Titanium member, all the better. So moving on from breakfast, I wanted to walk over and check out some more of the restaurants that are in the main building complex here. This is also where the main pool is. We'll check that out in just a second, but you can see from the second story balcony that you have some nice beach views, and this leads over to the elevators for this part of the tower. There are, of course, some timeshare-like rooms here. I had what was basically a regular hotel room, but they have a sports bar here. I had some ceviche here later in the day. It was fantastic with some beers, so definitely an awesome place to hang out and enjoy the views of the beach. For dinner, I stayed on property and dined at the Sea and Stones restaurant in this cool palapa that's sort of embedded in the pool area. It has great ocean views. You can hear the waves. I really felt like this steak was excellent, and prices were pretty reasonable for a resort, so definitely check that out if you're here. So now we're switching back to when I checked in. So they put me in the golf cart because I was actually in the other building, which is has its own pool, has its own beach area. It's still walking distance to all the main parts of the hotel, but I did feel like it was a little bit more private, which personally I liked. I think one reason that the Westin Cancun is treating people like they're staying at a normal Marriott resort rather than a timeshare property is that they actually were a resort at one time. So definitely appreciated there. You'll get a good view here as I drive of the entrance to the property. You sort of go up a hill to go check in and then go down the hill a little bit to the other part of the resort where I was staying. Again, on the lagoon side, there are some areas for, I think, more events, but they did have some chairs set up if you wanted to stare at the lagoon. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the lagoons here in Cancun. I mean, they look pretty, but you need some ocean breeze with this humidity here in Cancun to really prevent the sweating. One nice thing I liked about my building at the Westin Cancun is that they still had a concierge there as well as a front desk, so they could solve any issues. You didn't have to trek all the way up to the main building to get anything solved, which is really great. So don't be concerned if you're put in that building. I believe that that's also where the Westin Club used to be, but that wasn't really operating during my visit. So just keep that in mind, that there's plenty to do over on that side, and I'll show you how long it takes to walk. It's about a minute between buildings. So I arrived around 2 p.m., but my room wasn't ready, so I had to wait till 4. So here is what my one king room with an ocean front view looked like. So I was upgraded in terms of view. It wasn't a true suite or anything like that, but definitely enjoyed the ocean views here. So the rooms themselves, I don't think have been updated too much. Definitely didn't feel like they were in dire need of an upgrade, but I've seen newer rooms in Cancun at this point, especially when you take a look at my JW Marriott Cancun video. You'll see how fantastic the rooms are there. But overall, if you're just hanging at the beach all day or the pool, it doesn't really matter what your room looks like. It's a comfortable room with plenty of amenities here. Of course, you have the closet, you have a nice mini fridge to put any drinks or leftovers in, and then you have your 2 doubles there, so they weren't able to upgrade me to a king, unfortunately. But this was at the very end of the building, so plenty of artwork on the walls, and then a nice unobstructed view of the ocean from, I believe, the 3rd floor is what I was on. You see the rooms below have like a nice lookout area on the ground floor, but great ocean views there. If I was a little higher up in the tower, I'd probably be a little happier, but overall, great stuff here. Here's a nice view of the pool over at my section of the resort. Nice ocean views. There's plenty of chairs on the beach as well. And then here's a nice shot of what that Westin Club looked like before. I think that you can dine here and enjoy some things, but didn't see any waiters really working there at the time. So then if you wanted to trek over from my section back over to the main part of the resort, you just walk past a few of the buildings and right along the beach, and you were there in about a minute. So really nice and beautiful walk. So now let's take a look at some other amenities here. I'll say that they did have a flow rider, but it was currently closed due to COVID. So that's a cool amenity for families. Those are really popular with kids and a lot of fun. I believe that those would be an extra charge though. And they also had a lagoon-facing pool over there. So plenty of pools here for you to check out. And then lots of activities. I arrived and they were doing a pina colada class, and so everyone got some free pina coladas by the pool, which was really fun. So they definitely try and keep people on property and keep people interacting and having fun even with COVID. And then here's the main pool, and then there's that Sea and Stones restaurant in the Palapa there. And then down from the pool area, they have the bar as well as set up for some of the activities, which was the pina colada thing I mentioned. So overall, really loved the resort. I felt like the property was well kept and the service was great. So definitely a highly recommend for me, especially given the price. It was a lot cheaper than a lot of the other resorts in the area. But the next morning I wanted to go check out some golf. So I went over to a Jack Nicklaus signature course nearby. This is a nice option if you're a golfer, obviously. This is the Riviera Cancun golf course. It was about $149 for my round. I would definitely bring clubs and balls though, as those are very expensive at the course to rent and buy. But a great design, a little weird in terms of management, but very close to the Westin Cancun. So thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate your view, and please subscribe if you haven't already.